So now we're doing Basic, which is a film starring John Travolta. John Travolta has been in a lot of films, including Blowout, Bubble Boy, Look Who's Talking, Pulp Fiction, The Punisher, Friday Night Lights. No, Friday Night Fever, right?
Saturday Night Fever.
Saturday Night Fever. What's that one? Hairspray. Hairspray.
Yes.
So he's been in quite a lot of films. He's a leading man. He's the guy that you call. I do know at a point Hollywood was skeptical about casting him, especially after he did those Look Who's Talking films. But after doing Pulp Fiction with Tarantino, yeah, the calls started coming back in, And you do have his co-star from Pulp Fiction, Samuel L. Jackson. He's also in this film. I mean, Samuel L. Jackson is one of the highest grossing film actors of our time. He's done way too many characters. Jules from Pulp Fiction. He was in The Negotiator. He's Nick Fury in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He was in Django. He's in a lot of Tarantino and Spike Lee films. That's Tarantino. Do you want to mention some of the people, Rob?
What the other people?
Wow. I think you mentioned Rosalind Sanchez.
Yeah, Rosalind Sanchez. I don't know their movies like that you do.
Rush Hour 2.
Yes. It's Tayediggs.
Yes.
Tayediggs.
So was in
Save the Last Dance 1 and 2, I believe. Is that him?
No. Save the Last Dance is Sean Patrick Thomas. Tayediggs was in Brown Sugar. He was in The Best Man. I think that's the one you're talking about. Best Man 1, 2, and 3.
Yes.
How Stella Got Her Groove Back.
Was he also in that other Beverly Hills Gangster or something like that? What is it called again? The comedy with the white guy.
Is it a movie or a series?
It's a movie. Where he's like playing an actor that's a fake rapper that's trying to convince this white kid that he's not gangster, but then the white kid ends up getting taken by real gangsters.
Malibu's Most Wanted. Was he there?
Yes, Malibu's. I'm pretty sure that it's Anthony Anderson and Tayediggs who were the two fake gangsters.
I don't remember that movie that much, but I do remember the plot.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's done a lot of movies.
Yeah.
And most of his movies are really good.
Yeah.
And then you have
Giovanni Ribisi is a good one.
Yes. So Giovanni Ribisi is in Avatar, the first one, 2012. Mm-hmm. I think he's in the Fast and Furious, the first one, right?
No, that's someone else. I know you're thinking of. That's that guy playing Mouse, someone else.
Was he in Gone in 60 Seconds?
Yes.
He is in Keen's Crystal Ball music video. He's in a movie with Halle Berry. Remember that movie? I think it's The Perfect Match or something like that. I forgot the title. With Bruce Willis as well in that movie. I mean, he was in Friends as well. Saving Private Ryan. Oh, it's The Perfect Stranger. That's the movie I'm talking about.
Friends.
Yeah, he was in Friends. Don't you remember he was Phoebe's brother or something, and then he asked Phoebe to basically be like a surrogate mother or something like that.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. And then he was also in My Name is Earl. So yeah, and then you also have, I think just to go back to Rosalind Sanchez, because I feel like we didn't give her enough credit. She was in Without a Trace, Devious Maids. She was in that music video, You Make Me Better with Fabulous. And I think she was also in Chasing Puppy. I don't know if you remember Chasing Puppy. That's where most people actually met or got to know of Sofia Vergara.
No.
Yeah. Then you have Harry Connick Jr., who plays a doctor in this film.
Yeah.
He was in Will and Grace, if you remember Will and Grace.
Yeah, of course I do.
Yeah, he was also in Independence Day.
And he's got his own music career.
He's a singer.
But he's a singer. He does like Michael Bublé type stuff.
Oh, really?
That's
Oh,
yeah. Actually, know him more like that.
oh, I know
Yeah,
him more of the, the guy who usually does like comedy. Because I
yeah.
saw him in Will and Grace, and then I also saw him in P.S. I Love You, and he was funny in there. I didn't know he was
Mm.
a singer, though.
Yeah,
Uh,
man can sing. I used to work at
wow.
Musica, so yeah.
He used to work where?
Remember, I used to work at Musica, a
Oh,
music
yeah,
store.
right.
So we have to like play music, and yeah, man's got his own albums.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Uh, and then there's Brian Holt.
Yes.
Uh,
Danra. Yeah.
oh, yeah, Brian Van Holt. I love this guy, man. I am actually familiar with him from a sitcom called Cougar Town, where he
Yeah.
did this game called Cat Pen in the Can. Funny guy, but you can see that he
Yeah.
is one of the. I guess you could say that he is one of the people you would consider to play a soldier in a movie. He just has
Oh
that.
yeah.
He has the
He's got a
soul.
tough guy face, and
Yeah.
he's pretty big as well.
Yes. And to add on to that, even what's this guy's name again? I'll tell you just now.
Dash. Uh-huh.
Yeah, Dash. Dash is also
Yeah.
like, I'm even surprised that they didn't make them brothers in this movie. These guys basically look the same. They're both
Yeah,
big,
they look pretty similar. Yeah.
you
But
know.
I think Dash always plays like a dumb guy in all the movies.
Yes, because if you okay, let me just speak about the movie where not the movie, but the series where I know him from. I know
Hmm.
him from Ray Donovan, where he plays Bungie.
Oh.
One of Ray Donovan's brothers. So that character in that thing, he was, like those altar boys in a specific church that I won't name, where they get molested and stuff. So
Yeah. Okay.
he gets so traumatized by it that he doesn't do anything with his life.
Um.
Doesn't get a job, like a proper job or anything. So it's
Yeah.
like yeah, it's messed up, man. Um, it's called sexual anorexia, I think, because he was sexually abused as a child. So yeah.
Okay.
I think he did a movie with Denzel, or am I mistaking him for
I
something?
think you're right. I think you're right. I
Mm,
just don't know what movie though.
yeah, yeah.
Wasn't Siege? It might have been Siege. The one
CG.
with Bruce Willis. I'm not sure, but I
Oh,
know him from a couple things. I'm not sure what though. I don't
right.
have the IMDb in front of me, but he's a face that you recognize.
Yeah, he was in The Day After Tomorrow with Keanu Reeves.
Mm.
The Perfect Storm, I Am Legend, Silver Linings Playbook. Like he
He's
appears.
in I Am Legend. I
Pardon?
didn't see that. I Am Legend.
I'm
Hmm.
assuming that he probably played the CGI guy, the CGI character, maybe, or maybe in those flashback scenes, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah,
That's surprising.
it
See
is.
the movie a dozen times.
Yeah, and
Again,
he was in
yeah.
Punisher Warzone as well.
Okay, that makes more sense. Yes, that's
And
the
then
movie I know him the best.
we have Tim Daly. So before I get into any live action stuff that he has done, can we just give this man his flowers? This man voiced Superman in the 90s, man. He's an honorary Superman. We like
Ah,
giving Brendan Routh, Dean Cain, Tom
mm,
Welling, Henry Cavill their flowers, but we need to give
mm,
Tim Daly his flowers. I do know that George Newbern also voiced Superman, but the
mm.
Superman animated series was voiced by Tim Daly. So him and Kevin Conroy, man, they used to, yeah, they were the guys. And I think he has a series on YouTube where he's just doing some funny stuff with his son, pretending to be.
Really?
Yeah, it's really, really funny. I know
That's cool.
he was also in Private Practice, which is a spin-off of Grey's Anatomy.
Ah, yes. That
Um,
one.
yes, and his sister is what's her name again? Um, I think it's Tyen Daly. She was in Judging Amy. Do you remember the series called Judging Amy?
I remember the name. I just never actually watched it. But yeah.
Yes, yeah. So, and I think she was in one of the sequels of Dirty Harry. I forgot what it was called. That lady. Yeah. I'm not sure if
Okay.
I'm forgetting anybody.
Can you do Cristiano Del Fuente?
Oh, is it the Spanish guy?
Castro. Yeah, Castro.
Wait. I need to do Connie Nielsen, I think. The blonde
Yes,
lady.
of course, the actual lead. Yeah.
Yeah, the female lead,
Main
right? So
character, yes.
she is actually Wonder Woman's mother in the Wonder Woman films.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And then she was in Law and Order Special Victims Unit.
Uh-huh.
She was in a Fox crime thriller series called The Following. She was in a drama series called Close to Me. She was in Nymphomaniac, 3 Days to Kill, 1 Hour Photo. She was in Gladiator as Lucilla.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's her. What a beautiful woman, man.
Yeah,
Really liked her
absolutely.
character in here because she was badass.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, she was quite badass. What's that other guy's name again? I think I know this guy. I just don't remember where I saw him. Was he not in Aliens vs Predator? Um,
I don't know. Because I know his face as well. I just can't tie anything to him. I know
so,
he's done stuff too.
so let's see. He was in geez, I think he's doing more. Oh, let's see. He was in Hope and Faith. I don't know if you know Hope and Faith. It was a sitcom.
Yeah. No, I don't know that one.
He was in CSI Miami. He was in
Okay.
Eve. I think this is Eve with the rapper Eve. He was in The
Okay, yeah.
Class. The Class was a
Oh,
sitcom. He was in Ugly Betty. He was in Psych. Um,
maybe I know him from Psych. Yeah.
yeah, because Psych is a funny. He
It's hilarious,
was
man.
also in Private Practice.
Oh,
Yeah.
more than one reunion. Okay, that's cool.
And he was in okay, I think I mentioned Ugly Betty, right?
Yes.
He was also in One on One. You remember the series the sitcom called One on One?
Mm,
Yeah, he was in the with
okay.
Flex Alexander and Kyla Pratt. Um, yeah, apparently he served in the Chilean Air Force Reserve prior to attending the um, some Catholic University of Chile, and
All right. Well,
he pursued a degree in civil engineering.
oh wow. So then it was like, okay, like Ashton Kutcher, okay, like or like Shakira and those ones were like they're like actually well studied in other things as well. You know what I mean?
Even Natalie Portman and Dolph Lundgren,
Mm.
I think.
Yes, Dolph Lundgren is probably the most surprising one out of all of them. Like, what a
But
chemical engineering or some shit like that. Yeah,
it's really surprising though, because if you look at some of his earlier work, I mean, do you remember Showdown in Little Tokyo?
of course.
That character in there was very smart.
Yeah, but when he says smart things, the way it sounds, you're like, is it a smart thing when
Yeah.
you're saying it?
Yeah, no, I
Do you
get
know
you.
what I mean?
Get you.
It's like the James Bond with where they make that supermodel a rocket scientist, and then everyone's like, I don't believe this. Do you know what I mean?
No, I get. I guess you could say that he is more like the John Cena that we have now before John Cena.
Yeah,
Minus a lot of comedy. It's like the big, buff, blonde guy
which
who.
is funny because actually, yeah, a lot of those comedian types tend to actually be really clever, and I
Yeah,
feel like he fits in. Probably, I'm sure if he did comedy, he'd turn out to actually be really good at it or something like that. Because
I
it
think
was like, yeah,
I genuinely think so.
yeah,
Yeah, so I think we mentioned all of
yeah,
them. Right? I'm not leaving
yeah,
any behind. Yeah.
yeah. Just maybe John McTiernan, the director,
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh man. He was involved in
one of the
uh
greatest directors of the '90s and the '80s.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. I mean, he directed Predator. He
yeah,
directed Die Hard.
Die Hard.
He
Mm-hmm.
directed The Hunt for Red October.
Yep.
He directed The Last Action Hero.
Mm-hmm.
Directed Die Hard with a Vengeance. He directed The 13th Warrior. The Thomas Crown Affair, and he did Basic.
Yep. And apparently this was his last movie before he
Didn't
went to jail.
he get arrested or something? Yeah.
Yeah, he went to jail. Yeah,
Ish.
for spying on his wife, and because he didn't. Yeah, that was a whole drama, which is a shame because the man, you can tell he's still a good director, even with this one.
Yeah.
There's a style to his directing, I think, an
Okay.
energy to it. Yeah, that really catches you by surprise. I think.
Right.
Um, the cuts that are in there, I think what he is probably a more experimental director than I think people give him credit for.
Okay.
But also he's got cool. Oh God, man's got clever camera work. Like there's some stuff he'll do that kind of reminds me of De Palma, where like there'll be things where like there'll be moving objects with the blocking and the positioning, and the camera's over here and looking over there, and there's a person coming out from the background, and it's the kind of stuff that if you watch Mission Impossible and De Palma movies, you kind of see that kind of thing.
Yeah.
being done.
For those that don't know, he's referring to Brian De Palma. So if you
Yeah.
keep saying, just know that he's referring to Brian De Palma. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's just I love this man so much.
Right.
I would almost put him above things. I think I put him on the same level as what's Ridley Scott's brother,
Tony.
Tony Scott, on the same level. I think they make similar movies, but I think McTiernan's movies keep winning. If that makes sense, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like that feud between Stallone and Schwarzenegger.
Yes. Yeah.
Stallone sometimes would force a movie, but it doesn't land like Arnold's movies, or vice versa. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's what happened here. And I feel like, well, I mean, obviously they're not beefing or anything, but I think they have like this very similar. And I feel like they almost defined the 80s and the 90s with their style of filmmaking. You know what I mean?
Definitely. I think you can also maybe add Richard Donner there. I do know that Richard Donner started way earlier than them because, I mean, he did Superman in the 70s.
Yeah.
But when you look at those Lethal Weapon movies.
Oh, yes. There's a whole discussion on, there's a thing with Mel Gibson talking about him, and I just broke my heart. That man, genius as well.
Yeah.
Those, we could talk about 90s directors and 80s directors, definitely, man.
Yeah, look, that in its own can be a whole discussion. It can be a whole episode.
Absolutely, because I feel like it's almost unfair to include people like Ridley Scott and people like James Cameron in that grouping, because I feel like their stories are kind of unique in their scale. Like they're almost too grand to be compared with Die Hard.
Yeah. Even Spielberg, you should include Spielberg in that category as well, because De Palma, when he did Blade Runner and Cameron's Aliens and
De Palma, don't you mean you mean Ridley?
Sorry, not De Palma. Sorry, I meant Ridley Scott. Yeah. Ridley Scott's Blade Runner. Yeah. Then you have James Cameron's Aliens or Terminator.
Yes.
Then you have Spielberg's Jurassic Park.
Yes.
You cannot compare that to a Jingle Bells, Jingle Bells, Jingle EPK. No, you can't. You know.
You can't. What was that show? Who directed? Actually, look that up. Who directed the Schwarzenegger one where it's Schwarzenegger versus Cedric, not Cedric the Entertainer, Sinbad. I wonder who directed that one, because that was actually not a bad movie, but 100% 90s at its finest. You know what I'm talking about? Where they're fighting for a toy.
No, I don't know that movie. Schwarzenegger and Sinbad.
Yes, Sinbad, the comedian.
Oh, yeah, I'm familiar with Sinbad. I didn't even know that movie exists.
Are you being serious?
Yes.
There's a scene where Schwarzenegger, you watch a trailer where you see Schwarzenegger being chased by a bunch of Santa Clauses. It's the funniest thing. Santa Clauses. Wasn't that?
Okay, because I wanted to ask if it's Kindergarten Cop. It's not Kindergarten Cop.
In that time period, we were still experimenting with some of the less serious stuff.
And it's not The Last Action Hero.
No. That's something else.
Then I don't know it.
Damn it. You're ruining me right now, because it's one of my favorite movies. See how this is a guilty pleasure? That's also a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
Because it's silly, but it's fantastic. Like it's like people don't give it enough credit. Let's put it like that. It's underrated with how good it is. But yeah.
So they are co-leads in that movie.
Yes.
Oh, it's called Jingle All the Way.
I think so. Yes.
Jingle All the Way.
There's Schwarzenegger is one of those typical bad dads, the ones that are too busy for their kid.
Yeah.
Typical storyline. and then he's got one chance to kind of redeem himself because he promised his kid this special action figure. You know, he's nowadays before Amazon. So he has to hunt it down, and then the last father standing is him and Sinbad, who's like a postman who's also trying to get it for his kid. And they just, it is gangster beef as they run from store to store. It is hilarious, bruh. But I recommend.
I need to watch it.
But let's get back to it.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a story for another day. So not sure if we are forgetting anything.
I don't know. James Vanderbilt. It's a name that sounds familiar. James Vanderbilt. I'm not the name sounds familiar, but I can't attach anything to.
Yeah, the name really sounds familiar. James Vanderbilt. It sounds familiar. He's best known for writing films Zodiac, The Amazing Spider-Man, Independence Day, Resurgence, Scream.
Jesus, this guy is on fire.
And its 2023 sequel, and also the Amazing Spider-Man sequel. He wrote The Rundown, The Losers, White House Down.
That's a roller coaster ride of movies right there. It's the quality.
Murder Mystery 2.
Okay, not bad.
Yeah.
Well, he did pretty good on this one. I remember I read some information about him. He said when he wrote this film, he wanted to make a movie that messed up people. That was a challenge to people who always like, I know who the bad guy is in the first 5 minutes. That's what he said. He said he wrote this movie as a challenge to those guys. And I can definitely say I could not have guessed the ending.
Yeah, me too. I think you remember. Think about it. Around this time, and I think you and I really need to do an 80s movie episode, because what I'm gonna get to now will actually back up what I'm saying. Around this time, movies like The Usual Suspects, Scream, I Know What You Did Last Summer. There's a movie that I was thinking about just now.
These are more 90s, I feel like, but yeah, I'm understanding what you're saying.
Yes, these are definitely more 90s. There's another movie, man, that I'm
out.
Where it's like we started trying to. Along Came a Spider.
Oh yeah, the whodunits. Oh, there's a good writer there. What's his name? The Nice Guys writer. One of my favorite. But yes, that was a good one.
Yeah, so these whodunit films where we are now trying to, sort of like read between the lines. So when
M. Night Shyamalan.
M. Night Shyamalan, he wrote that.
I'm saying those types of catch you by surprise twists.
Yeah, like a Sixth Sense type of situation. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So, and obviously, if you're a cinephile like us, you've watched all those movies, so you think you know the patterns. And this movie was designed to catch you out.
Yes. So, so I think maybe he realized that there was a trend about this, and then he just wanted to basically subvert expectations.
Oh, entirely possible, man. I think that's really what happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Wow.